Hi, these comments are for RB. This is Michael. Thank you for sending me your speaking practice. I'm getting ready to grade it right now. Okay, so I have the independent speaking rubrics. And I am Michael from BetterTOEFLScores.com and OnlineTOEFLCourse.com. And let's take a look at your email before I get to your speaking. Say, hi, Michael. In the past few months, I've learned a template from another TOEFL teacher and kept practicing it hard, but my speaking score dropped from 24 to 23. Thanks to your comments. Now understand what was happening. Thank you. And I'm going to change this to past tense, not present perfect tense, right? Present perfect tense talks about an action in the past that continues up into the moment of speaking. But right now, you're not using that template anymore, right? And you're not practicing with that TOEFL teacher anymore. So use the simple past here, not the present perfect. Yes, anybody who knows me knows, do not use TOEFL templates. They cripple you, right? What if you get on the TOEFL and you have a template, but the question that you're trying to answer isn't, the template doesn't fit that answer? No, don't do that, right? Work on improving your English skills. To me, that's the most important thing here. It's not using a template as a crutch to squeak by the TOEFL to get a high score. No, the purpose to practice is to improve your speaking for the long term so you can communicate fluently, intelligibly, and coherently. Isn't that the goal? Templates are not going to get you there. Okay, let's keep going here. This is my recording today for question 1, TPO number 22. The question is, do you agree or disagree with the following statement? Children should be required to learn practical skills in school, such as cooking or personal finance, in addition to academic subjects. Use details and examples to explain your position. I think personal finance, I'm going to say absolutely. Cooking, students can probably learn on their own without having to take a class, but I think personal finance absolutely important. But that's just Michael here. Okay, let's listen to your practice test. Let's see how you did on this one.
In school is redundant for children. As a matter of fact, those techniques can be learned at home. For example, when I was a kid, my parents were working at night, so I had to prepare dinner myself. And in that way, I learned how to cook. So that's the best case I can learn. Also, I think it can be really challenging for a teacher to manage those classes. I still remember that when I was at primary school, we were learning how to type, and in the computer room, every kid was playing computer games instead of learning, and that was a disaster for our teacher. So that's why I don't like this idea.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to put you at least 23 points based on the description here. Let's listen to it one more time.
I feel that learning practical skills in school is redundant for children. As a matter of fact,
is what? I'm having a little bit of trouble there. I need to get what your argument is.
I feel that learning practical skills in school is redundant for children.
Is redundant, right? Redundant or repetitive, unnecessary.
As a matter of fact, those techniques can be learned at home. For example,
how about subject matters such as cooking and personal finance can be learned at home?
When I was a kid, my parents were working at night, so I had to prepare dinner myself. And in that way, I learned how to cook. So that's the best case.
Without having to attend any classes on the subject, right? You might say that to help prove your argument. So you learned how to do those practical things without being taught those things. You learned them out of necessity.
I can learn. Also, I think it can be really challenging for a teacher to manage those classes. I still remember that when I was at primary.
Now, how about these classes? Call them alternative or extracurricular classes if you want. So be a little bit more specific with your vocabulary as you refer to those classes.
primary school, we were learning how to type, and in the computer room, every kid was playing computer games instead of learning, and that was a disaster for our teacher. So that's why I don't like this idea.
Or which is why I don't like this idea. Okay, so I listened to it a couple of times. I think sometimes your vocabulary can be a little bit basic, so be careful about that. Remember, I changed something to extracurricular classes, something like that. So you want to make sure with the topic development language use, you get as precise and specific as you can to help connect what you're saying back to the speaking topic. Delivery, you had a few minor problems in there. I had to pay attention, so it does require some effort, right, to understand what you're saying. I'm going to put you at 23 to 25 points on this practice test, right, based on my evaluation. So in my online course, I'm trying to think about what are some things you can do that can help you with this one. Maybe if you look at TOEFL speaking lesson number 6, it talks about how to make your speaking and writing more coherent. That might give you some ideas. So you use a variety of different kinds of transition words. You're not using exactly the same ones every time. So that might help instead of also. I think you tend to focus on one or two types of transition words, and you rely on them heavily throughout your response. So be careful about that. All right. Okay. Thank you.